Alright guys, well, as you can tell, I'm here sitting on a couch not holding up a dead turkey. Good news is, we do end up killing that turkey. You're going to see how in this video. My dad was actually the lucky one who got to kill it. I didn't get it that day. Had a lot of good hunts chasing him. That was probably my third hunt in a row with him roosted in that same tree. It was just tough this year, you know. Without the full strut decoy, they were henned up. With the full strut decoy, they didn't like it, and I just felt like, you know, we couldn't get it right on that bird. But my dad got lucky. We killed him, and we'll see you guys in the kitchen when we eat him.
Got him. Flip this up. He's done.
Welcome to the kitchen, guys. So we're just gonna show you real quick how to whoop up some turkey pot pie. It's gonna be a little different than your traditional pot pie. If you guys hear any squeaking or squealing in the background, it's that guy. That's my son Carter. He's joining in on the video today. But we're just gonna kind of go over everything we got. We have some celery. We got some jalapenos. We got a bell pepper. 2 onions, 1 medium, 1 small. And these 3 things are all from the garden. We got some mushrooms. We got, of course, our cubed up turkey. We got some potatoes that I already boiled. For potatoes, you just boil them, get them a little soft. I like to throw some seasoning in, so I threw some Uncle Jay's seasoning in, which we'll also be using on the turkey, and then just some ground black pepper. We got some carrots, fresh from the garden as well, and a little bit of corn, some puff pastry that we'll be using. We got some heavy whipping cream, chicken broth, a little bit of whiskey, and then just a little bit of flour. So I'm gonna get to chopping, get everything all cut up. So everything's all chopped up. We're gonna get kind of started on our onions. Stick of butter is still a little frozen, but we're gonna throw some butter in there, get that melted. Throw an even bigger chunk in where our turkey's gonna go, get that going. So turkey's gonna go over in this kind of Dutch oven pot, and then we're gonna end up seasoning it once that butter starts melting down more. Our onions, we're just gonna take those, toss them in with the butter. We're gonna start cooking those down. Oh. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Nice.
So aggressive there. Alright, so those are cooking down. Once they get about halfway cooked down to where I want them, we're gonna throw in a little bit of whiskey in there. But over here, we're gonna get our turkey. We're just gonna dump the whole thing in there. Start adding some pepper. And then our Uncle Jay's seasoning. This is what happens when you buy a boat from Uncle Jay. You get your very own can of seasoning. It's about a $15,000 jar of seasoning right there. That came with the free boat. So we're just gonna kind of mix all that up, throw a lid on it, and just let it, it's on about medium-high heat. We're just gonna let that start cooking. Our onions, we're gonna throw our celery in there. Might as well just throw everything in there. Our peppers. We'll save the corn and potatoes kind of more towards the end of everything, because those are already cooked. So when these are freshly frozen from the garden, we actually cook them before we freeze them. And then we'll wait a little bit to throw our mushrooms in there. Let everything start falling in love.
Are you gonna flambe it?
Our little bird in the background.
Oh yeah.
cook down. So we got our turkey bits starting to cook. We're just gonna add just a little bit of chicken broth. Turkey, if it doesn't have enough moisture, gets dried out very quickly. Whether you use store-bought turkey or wild turkey, all the same. We're gonna throw our mushrooms in with everything else. We're big mushroom fans. So we'll let those start kind of cooking down a little bit as well with everything else. Our onions are starting to get that beautiful translucent color. So we'll let that cook down and then we'll add everything else to the pot. So all of this has been kind of cooking for a little while. Turkey is starting to look good. We're just gonna add our corn in there. We're gonna add our carrots. We can toss in the potatoes. This is just gonna be a really, really hearty pot pie. So all of that, like I said, is cooking already. We're gonna add a little bit of flavor in there. A little extra Cajun seasoning, some more pepper. Not that there's not enough flavor with everything that's going on. Let that keep cooking. And then next thing that we're gonna do is, so puff pastry, you're supposed to let it thaw out so it can be rolled out easy, but it kind of fell apart on us, so we're just gonna do the break and bake method. Just gonna kind of break it into little chunks, throw it on the bottom of this, and then we will toss it in the oven and bake it until it's mostly cooked through, and then we'll add our pot pie filling into it and toss it in the oven and finish it off. So we had to move everything over into this big pot because kind of the final product of making the filling for the pot pie would not fit in the current pan that it was in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of just start adding some flour in there. From there, you're just gonna mix it all up. When all your flour disappears, you're gonna add a little bit more. And we're probably not gonna add all this flour, just kind of little bits at a time. Let it soak up everything. And that's gonna start thickening it. Just a tiny bit more, that's enough. You can see everything is coated kind of in a flour creaminess. We're gonna take our heavy whipping cream. We're not gonna add much. We're just gonna add probably close to a cup. You're gonna mix that up. You're gonna kind of get it back on the heat and just let that keep cooking. And then once that kind of thickens up and gets really thick, then we'll add our Osceola in there. All right, we're just gonna add the turkey into our mixture here, our filling. The almighty Osceola. Dump it all in there. Give it a good mix. And you're just gonna kind of let it all, we're just gonna turn it down to barely keeping it warm, and we're gonna wait on our puff pastry to start finishing up in the oven, and then we'll add everything to the pan. So puff pastry's cooked. They're all nice and crispy on the bottom. They're crispy all over. We're gonna start adding our flavor here. We're just gonna start scooping it in and piling it on top.
That looks good.
Save the rest for lunches.
That's really good.
Sizzle. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add our puff pastry to the top, which this one's all thawed out.
Maybe I should have got 2 packs, but we'll make it work.
Oh, this would be perfect.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Stretch it out. And get a a little knife here. Poke some holes in it. Just brush the top with a little bit of egg yolks. That gives it that nice golden color on top once you're done baking it. Now you're not really baking the pot pie because everything's hot and baked and cooked already. You just want to get it to the point where the pastry is looking all raised. It just goes in the oven at like 400 degrees and you just follow instructions from there. But you just want to get it nice and golden brown. We're gonna get pot holder. This pan's really hot. So we just got it out of the oven. Just gonna break into this loving goodness here. Just plop it on in your bowl. It's not gonna look pretty, but it'll taste good. So we're gonna say grace real quick, and then we're gonna give it a taste test. All right, dear God, just thank you for this turkey season. Thank you for letting us be able to get out in the woods this year and chase a bunch of gobblers. Hopefully next year will be a little bit better, but just help us to have a great off season, catch a bunch of fish, and hopefully get some gator tags here coming up. And just thank you for this food, and thank you for this gobbler. Just gonna pray, amen. All right, dig on in here, get a big old portion. Get some mushrooms, turkey, some potato. That's piping hot. Oh god, shit. Oh. That's fantastic. I guess I'm gonna have to eat from my own bowl, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hopefully we'll catch you guys real soon. See ya.